in the high-stakes chess match of NFL coaching, where every second and every timeout can mean the difference between victory and defeat, how many times can a team's strategic missteps cost them dearly before the whispers of concern turn into a roar of outright frustration? That, my friends, is the burning question echoing through the halls of the Atlanta Falcons facility, a question that has once again cast a harsh spotlight on head coach Raheem Morris's game management. On Sunday, in a gut-wrenching overtime loss to the Indianapolis Colts, the Falcons snatched defeat from the jaws of what could have been a crucial victory, and once again, the finger of blame points squarely at a recurring, infuriating issue: time management. This isn't just about a single play. It's about a pattern, a strategic Achilles heel that is threatening to derail a season and test the patience of a fan base desperate for consistent success. Tonight, we dissect the moments that mattered, the decisions that baffled, and the profound impact of what happens when crucial seconds tick away, unused and unvalued. The scene was set for a pivotal moment at the end of the first half. The Atlanta Falcons, riding a narrow 14-13 lead, had just witnessed their defense make a crucial play. With less than a minute remaining, the Indianapolis Colts had the ball, facing a second down. Falcons linebacker Caden Ellis, a blur of determination, burst through the line and brought down Colts quarterback Daniel Jones for a sack. The clock stopped briefly, then resumed, showing 47 seconds left on the game clock. It was third down and a long 11 yards for the Colts, deep in their own territory at the 25-yard line. Here's where the strategic chess match truly began, and where the Falcons' decision-making came under intense scrutiny. Atlanta held 2 precious timeouts in their pocket, strategic assets designed for precisely these kinds of situations: to stop the clock, to regroup, to give your offense a chance to make a play before the half. Yet, as the seconds bled away, Raheem Morris, the man at the helm, opted to keep those timeouts holstered. The decision, or rather the non-decision, immediately raised eyebrows, not just among the fans, but within the very broadcast booth calling the game. The NFL Network's broadcast team, seasoned veterans who have seen countless games and countless coaching decisions, were visibly perplexed. As the clock continued its relentless march, Adam Amin, the play-by-play announcer, articulated the growing confusion. The Falcons opted not to use the timeout. The Colts are content now, on third down with a lot of yards to go, to let the clock run a little bit, but Atlanta didn't use the timeout. The emphasis in his voice was clear. This was not standard operating procedure. This was a missed opportunity unfolding in real time. The clock, indifferent to the strategic implications, continued to tick. By the time the Colts finally snapped the ball for that crucial third and long play, a mere 21 seconds remained on the clock. Think about that. 26 precious seconds had vanished, simply evaporated, without the Falcons leveraging their available resources. It was a bewildering sequence that left former NFL quarterback and current analyst Kurt Warner scratching his head in disbelief. "That leaves us scratching our heads," Warner exclaimed, his voice tinged with incredulity. "I mean, why not try?" Long third down, knowing they're going to have to take a shot, not necessarily an interception, but get possession back for the offense, trying to double up before halftime. Warner's point was incisive and critical. On a long third down, deep in their own territory, the Colts were almost certainly going to throw the ball. This presented a golden opportunity for the Falcons' defense to force a turnover, or at the very least, a quick incompletion, which, if followed by a timeout, would have given their offense valuable time to mount a scoring drive before the intermission. The potential to double up, scoring points at the end of the first half, and then receiving the kickoff to start the second, is a massive strategic advantage in football, a momentum swing that can dictate the entire flow of a game. Yet, the Falcons, by holding onto their timeouts, effectively squandered this potential. And then, as if to underscore the profound cost of that strategic misstep, fate intervened with a cruel twist. Daniel Jones dropped back to pass, and Falcons safety Jessie Bates, 3, a ball-hawking playmaker, read the play perfectly, intercepting the pass. It was exactly the kind of defensive heroics the Falcons needed, a game-changing turnover that could have completely altered the complexion of the game. The crowd erupted, the sidelines celebrated, but the euphoria was short-lived. As Bates galloped downfield, the clock continued to churn. By the time the play was whistled dead, a paltry 8 seconds remained. 8 seconds. Not nearly enough time for the Falcons offense to realistically drive down the field and capitalize on the turnover. To add insult to injury, Bates was then flagged for a taunting penalty, pushing the Falcons back to their own 23-yard line. What should have been a monumental momentum swing, a chance to put points on the board and extend their lead, was reduced to a mere footnote, a fleeting moment of excitement quickly extinguished by the clock and a penalty. Kurt Warner's frustration was palpable as he watched the sequence unfold. "I have no idea why they didn't call the timeout at that point," he reiterated, his voice conveying a sense of genuine bewilderment. "You don't make a mistake like that after the Jessie Bates interception. That was a huge chance to put points on the board before halftime." He was absolutely right. Had Morris used even one of those timeouts after the sack, the Falcons would have had significantly more time, perhaps 30 seconds or more, to work with after the interception, giving their offense a legitimate shot at a field goal or even a quick touchdown. Instead, the opportunity vanished, a ghost of what could have been. This isn't an isolated incident, a one-off error in the heat of the moment. As Adam Amin pointed out during the broadcast, if there's a recurring criticism of Raheem Morris as the Falcons head coach over the last year, it's time management. That felt like it could have been an opportunity. This is the crux of the issue. The whispers have been growing louder, the pattern becoming clearer. Morris has faced scrutiny for similar decisions in the past, moments where timeouts were either held too long, used unwisely, or simply not deployed when they could have made a critical difference. In the NFL, where games are often decided by razor-thin margins, strategic acumen is paramount. Timeouts are not just buttons to press, they are strategic weapons, tools to manipulate the clock, to save precious seconds, to give your team the best possible chance to succeed. To consistently mismanage these resources suggests a fundamental flaw in game day strategy, a blind spot that opponents are undoubtedly taking note of. It's a frustrating cycle for a team that often finds itself in close contests where every single point, every single possession can swing the outcome. The sting of this particular time management blunder is magnified exponentially by the Falcons' current predicament. Losing in overtime is always tough, but when it's your fourth consecutive loss, the pressure intensifies, and every decision, every mistake is scrutinized under a microscope. The Falcons are a team that entered the season with aspirations, a roster with talent, but they are currently spiraling, unable to close out games, unable to find a consistent winning formula. In such a fragile environment, coaching decisions become even more critical. Players look to their coach for leadership, for strategic guidance, for the calm hand that can navigate the chaos of an NFL game. When those decisions repeatedly come into question, it can erode confidence, foster doubt, and ultimately contribute to a losing culture. The Falcons are scoring enough points to be competitive, but their inability to consistently execute in critical moments, both on the field and from the sideline, is proving to be their undoing. This isn't just about a single game, it's about the trajectory of an entire season and the future of a coaching staff. Let's be clear, Morris couldn't have predicted Jessie Bates' interception. No coach has a crystal ball, but what he could have controlled was the clock. By using a timeout after the sack, he would have preserved valuable seconds. Those seconds, combined with the interception, would have given the Falcons' offense a legitimate chance to get into field goal range. Even a chip shot field goal would have extended their lead to 17-13, a significant psychological and practical advantage heading into halftime. In a game that ultimately went to overtime, where every point is precious, leaving potential points on the field due to a strategic oversight is simply inexcusable. It's the kind of mistake that haunts a team, that lingers in the minds of players and fans long after the final whistle. The NFL is a game of inches, of moments, of split-second decisions. And in those moments, the ability to manage the clock, to maximize every opportunity, is a non-negotiable requirement for successful coaching. The Falcons and Raheem Morris are learning this lesson the hard way, repeatedly. The Atlanta Falcons are at a crossroads. The talent is there, the effort is often there, but the consistent execution and strategic precision, particularly in critical game situations, are clearly lacking. The recurring issue of time management is no longer a minor quibble, it's a glaring vulnerability that is costing them games. For Raheem Morris, the message is clear: this pattern must be broken. He needs to demonstrate a sharper, more decisive approach to game management, one that maximizes every strategic advantage and minimizes self-inflicted wounds. The team's ability to turn their season around, to climb out of this four-game slump, will depend not only on the players' performance, but also on the coaching staff's ability to adapt, to learn from these costly mistakes, and to instill a culture of disciplined, intelligent football. The clock is ticking, not just on the game, but on the season itself. What do you think about Raheem Morris's time management decisions? Do you believe this is a critical flaw that needs immediate correction, or are these just isolated incidents being overblown? We want to hear your passionate takes, your frustrations, and your solutions. Hit that like button if you found this deep dive insightful, and please share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Let's keep this vital conversation alive, because the future of the Atlanta Falcons hinges on these very questions.